Shalom, brothers and sisters. So I wanted to read this article to you because it's going to tie in very nicely with just where we're sitting on the end time clock. Rabbi activist is working to open up Temple Mount as a house of prayer for all nations. An American-born Israeli Orthodox rabbi, Temple Mount activist, and former Likud member of the Knesset, Rabbi Glick's efforts are focused on Temple Mount. As the president of Shalom Jerusalem Foundation, he campaigns for expanding universal access to the Temple Mount. Ironically, it is this universalist vision that has led to his characterization of the rabbi as a right-wing fundamentalist. "I am an extremist for human rights," Rabbi Glick said. "We have to end this absurd situation where people are prevented from praying on the Temple Mount on the basis of their religion." Now, anywhere else, that would be a huge thing in the media, but not in Israel. Currently, non-Muslims, including Jews, can visit the compound where the Holy Temple of Jerusalem used to stand under severe restrictions, and among those restrictions, you may not pray, because there's power in prayer. Rabbi Glick firmly believes in the Temple Mount as a house of prayer for all nations, and has engaged with Arabs at the site in a manner that many would find incongruous for a right-wing extremist. "The only people who should be allowed on the Temple Mount are those who want everyone else to be there too," said Rabbi Glick. "The connection that I've been trying to develop for several years is a connection between Hashem, Yerushalayim, the Bible, and all people across the world," Rabbi Glick said. "I don't choose specifically evangelical Christians or political conservatives. It's not a political issue. I connect with Muslims as well. I reach out to Republicans as well as Democrats." The rabbi acknowledged that currently Christian evangelicals are the most engaged supporters of Israel. "Today it is easier to connect with evangelical Christians over Jerusalem, but that is not by choice that I am making to target them," he said. "They happen to be the ones opening the doors today, but my goal is to develop Zionist movements. I definitely would like Indonesian Zionists, Malaysian Zionists, Indian Zionists. I want all nations to be Zionists." So another important thing here for me on this article is there he is campaigning to make it accessible to all mankind, all nations, as a house of prayer. The drive for the temple to be rebuilt is bigger now than ever before, and people in power like Ben-Gvir and Netanyahu are in an ideal situation to make it happen. And with Passover coming up this year, it would not surprise me if they actually go ahead and push a Passover sacrifice, because Ben-Gvir is like, don't tell me what to do in my country or at my place of worship, which is maybe exactly what they need. But that being said, watching the terror attacks in Israel at the moment as we build up towards Ramadan and Passover, which are going to overlap again nicely this year, I see a lot of violence coming and a lot of clashes coming. And then, of course, UN Security Council meetings being called and all sorts of issues and chaos. The time is ripe for their fake Messiah to step in and for Antichrist to do his thing. The time is ripe for all those things. But first, we need to exit. And our exit is really, really close. And this temple, they say they can have it up within 6 months to a year. Now, just a thought, everyone's always, what about the Dome of the Rock? There is space right next to the Dome of the Rock, big enough to build a temple. They've already discussed that as an option as well, so both sides can be there. I don't see how that would work with another God right next to the God of Israel. It just doesn't make sense to me anywhere in the Bible why that would be allowed. So with the earthquakes rolling through the area and with all the damage done in Turkey, could an earthquake hit Jerusalem just in time and maybe level a couple of buildings on Temple Mount, sorting the issue out once and for all? Anything's possible. Who knows? God bless. Keep looking up. There's an urgency in my spirit for how close we are that I have not felt in a long time. I've always known we're close, and I've always known we're on the very edge. But there is an urgency to it now. That is how close we are. Literally crick in neck, listening urgency. So hang in there, hang tight, run with me. We are almost at the end of this race. God bless. Pray for Jerusalem. Shalom.